and you still applaud. I can't believe that. This is Callaway Live. I mean, you can keep applauding. I don't know why you stopped. It's Callaway Live. I'm Harry Arnett. There's only one person that we could have on the show. Think of this, 8 major championships. Does anybody know how many British Opens or Open championships he's won? Tom Watson, anyone? Anyone want to guess?
5.
5? You think 5? That's a lot of British Opens.
That's a lot.
Okay, it is 5. 5 Open championships, and the man keeps winning. He's the reigning par 3 champ at the Masters. Right? Right? He just keeps winning. Keeps winning. Please welcome to Callaway Live Hall of Famer, our friend, legend, Tom Watson. He's sitting right here. Hey! How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Tom Watson. So just so you
Wait,
know.
you forgot. Wait a minute. I have 3 senior British Opens, too.
3 senior.
Come on. Get your You didn't do your homework, Harry.
I don't consider you an old guy, so I don't even think about those. But just so you know how I feel, I wrote a very strongly worded letter to Augusta National that they should include like maybe a green vest for the par 3 winners. You in on that?
I'm in.
I love that. So when you won this year, I think I detected when you were coming in at like 6th, 7th hole a little bit of nerves from Mr. Watson, knowing that you were like 4 or 5 under.
Well, yeah, I was 4 under par, and I was 5 under after 7, and then I knock it stiff at 8. And Jack comes to me and said, "You know how many putts you've made in the first 8 holes?"
He's trying to
I
gooch
said,
you.
"Yeah, I've had 6 putts in 8 holes."
And then
I ran the tables with the putter. I putted like the Watson of old back when I was a kid.
throwing back a little, turning back the clock.
Every now and then you get it back. You know, it's just that golf is that way. It'll give it to you, but it'll take it away right in the same motion.
Punch you right in the gut. Have you ever had some gut punches over the years,
Yes,
Tom?
I have. Yeah, yeah, we all have.
And you keep coming back. We were talking earlier because everybody just assumes Tom was born to play Open Championship golf, and you said that actually wasn't the case.
No, I went over there in 1975, played my first Open Championship at Carnoustie, where they're holding it this year. And I told the story. We couldn't play a practice round. We were restricted because we were exempt players, and only the non-exempt players, the people who qualified, could play the course, Carnoustie, on Sunday when we arrived. John Mahaffey and, God rest his soul, Hubert Green. And so we ended up playing a course called Montefiore Golf Club right down from Carnoustie. Went to the first tee with our caddies who were, who was going to caddy for us in the Open. Hit our tee balls off the first hole. All of us hit it down the middle of the fairway, and found John's, found Hubert's, didn't find mine. Where in the hell was that ball?
I always look right in the hole.
We looked for it. We looked for it, couldn't find it, and finally I just dropped one because I hit it right down the fairway, and then hit shot up on the green, and I said, yeah, just for grins, I walked over at 60 yards off to the left over here, and in a little depression, a little bunker, there was my ball. It had hit this side slope in the middle of the fairway and caromed that way about 60 yards. That was my first shot in links golf. How'd you think I felt about links golf? I said, I don't like this very much. In fact, it took me a number of years to really embrace it. I fought it for a number of years, actually. I won 77 at Turnberry, and it felt, Turnberry was more of a modern, flatter golf, didn't have as many bumps. And then I go to St. Andrews in 78, and Jack won there. And I didn't like St. Andrews at all. I mean, it was just all bumps and humps and blind tee shots, and you had to guess, over that gorse, off the tee, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that style of play, and I kind of fought it. I fought it. I was playing with the attitude, I don't like this. But in '79, I finally said, get off your pity pot, Watson, and try to play this, play the game the way it's supposed to over here on the ground. Because I played the ball like this. I was like I was Phil Mickelson, Jason Day, straight up in the air type of play, and I expected the ball to stop. Well, it doesn't stop on
Sometimes
those
it doesn't stop on the greens.
There's hard.
You know, you have to go over
as
and
hard as
break
this
that
floor.
thing back. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to let it way short and let it run, and you have to judge that. But finally, I had a change of heart, and really kind of embraced it. Really loved the way the game is played over there. And in fact, I had just a wonderful time this last summer. I took my son, my brother, and my sister-in-law, and four other close friends, and we went up to Inverness in Scotland, and we played 4 courses up there. One was Castle Stewart, where they hold the Scottish Open. They held the Scottish Open there. The other one was Nairn, which it was a wonderful golf course, and the other one was Brora. And now Brora has the greens. Greens are ringed by electric fences because you got to avoid.
Keep us out.
Well,
oh no.
Yeah. He had to avoid the sheep and the horses, which are on their property, roaming the property there. They graze the property there. But the fourth one was one of my absolute favorites in the world. It's called Royal Dornoch, and it's just a magnificent links course. Played it twice, and then one day after we played Brora, we came back. We had dinner at Royal Dornoch. There's great food there. And they said, all right, here's the deal. We're all going to put our names in the hat. We're going to draw them out, and we're going to play alternate shot, another 12 holes. No caddies, nothing. I got a trolley. They call them, pull carts, trolleys. Got a trolley, put my Callaway bag on the trolley, and pushed it around, and we played 12 holes until about 10:30 at night. Just had, just a wonderful, wonderful time.
Well, that's not fair if somebody gets you as their partner. I mean, what were the stakes on that one? I mean, oh, look, it's Tom Watson. Oh, well, it was 1,000 a hole. What are we playing for today?
Yeah, we had a great time doing it. It was just.
I love that about golf. So you've played everywhere in your life, and then for a vacation, you choose to go and potentially get beaten up on links golf in Scotland to have some fun.
It's not potentially. You do get beat up. Links golf is unforgiving. It really is. You never know what you're going to get.
Do you have a lot of the players now ask you about links golf and how to embrace it? Because what you described about the mentality of how to be successful there could be something that a lot of the younger guys don't necessarily embrace, that the conditions are going to be difficult. You may hit a good shot where your Truvis golf ball, see what I did there, might roll into a depression that you don't warrant the result that you got.
Well, that's the thing. The luck of the bounce comes into play. That's what I didn't like about it at first. And as they say, and it's not a cliche, but the bounces, they even out. I had in 2009 at Turnberry. I mean, I had it when that ball was coming down the last shot in the 18th hole, 72nd hole. It was coming down and covering the flag. I kind of had flashback to 77 when the same thing happened at 77 for my last shot of the 18th hole at Turnberry when I beat Nicklaus. And when they came down there like this, I really couldn't see much. It hit the green and shears went up like this, and all of a sudden, oh.
That was me. You heard me in my living room.
It went over the green, and I failed to get it up and down. Got in the playoff with Stuart Sink, and he had every shot great, and I didn't hit a single shot, maybe one good shot in the playoff, and he won. But
it's the most mad I've ever been at like a really nice guy at Stuart Sink.
Stuart's a good guy.
Yeah.
But that was kind of an unlucky bounce. Andy North, my good friend, he was standing by the green as the ball came in. He said 2 things happened. He said there was a terrific gust of wind as that ball landed on the green, but also I asked him if there was just a little bit of a downslope. I mean, it's no bigger from here to the edge of the stage right here. The green went up and then just turned over like that and then flattened out. And my ball landed on that downslope.
The golf gods, why are they so cruel? Why do they do this? You're a good guy. They should have been like, we'll hit right on the
But I've had great breaks where I've won the Open Championship at Muirfield in the first hole. In 1980, I hit a 2-iron, 40 yards to the right. It was going in one of these pot bunkers, and it was going to be dead. and it hit the side of the pot bunker and caromed straight left onto the green, and I made a par. And I was going for 6, and I ended up making par. So you get good breaks. They even out.
Do they even out? Let's go over because this is a good. Yeah.
I'm luckier than most.
Okay, yeah, because we actually have a graphic here. We're going to show all the good breaks you've had and all the bad breaks you've had over your career, and we're going to balance those out. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
He didn't get me there.
We're not going to do that.
He didn't get me there.
But a good break would be 82 U.S. Open. I mean, is that the one shot that everybody talks to you about when they bother you in a restaurant? They come over and say, Tom, what are you eating? What are you drinking? Tell me about
it. It was a lucky shot, but I hit it exactly the way I wanted to hit it. I mean, it was right. I saw the grass left a mark on the club face, and it was exactly in the dead center of the club face, and I hit it soft and hit it just the way I wanted to. But you never know. It's lucky it went in, and it propelled me to win the tournament I wanted to win the most. The U.S. Open was, and still is, the tournament that I think is the definer of everything that's involved with winning championship golf. It has the toughest conditions. You saw Saturday's conditions at Shinnecock, for instance. And you take those conditions and you just multiply. Every year they're tough conditions. And to win a U.S. Open, it takes everything and it takes some luck. But that was the tournament I wanted to win the most because it was the toughest tournament to win.
All right, this crowd has a very refined BS detector, and so you've got to be honest with us here. When you're watching,
you have a BS.
Absolutely, he has a BS and BS detection. Yes, he does. So, whenever you're watching on TV and they roll the footage of the shot in '82, do you rewind it and watch it again? You do, don't you?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, of course you do. Of course. I mean, that was like, what is that feeling like to pull off a shot like that in the most important event at the most important peak of your career?
Well,
I mean, not very many people can say they've done that.
Well, Harry,
only 2 of us on stage.
It wasn't the last shot. It wasn't the last shot of the tournament.
Oh, that's true.
He says that's true.
I forgot you had to play 18.
I had to play 18.
Yeah.
I mean, it put me in a one-shot lead, but I still have to play the 18th hole Pebble Beach to win the tournament I wanted to win the most. And I got it. I hit it down there with a 3-wood off the tee. I bombed it. I hit it 270. It passed the tree with a 3-wood, and then I hit a 7-iron to lay up, and then a 9-iron onto the green, and then I hit the putt, and it went in the hole for a birdie to win by 2. And as I came off the green, Jack was there.
Do your Jack imitation.
And no.
Do it.
Jack was there waiting for me to come off the green because, as I didn't know, he was on that green with Jack Whitaker when I was in trouble at 17, and Jack Whitaker was basically saying, Jack, it looks like you won your 5th Open, U.S. Open here. And how's it feel? And when he said, how's it feel, the cheer went up when I sunk the chip shot. And Jack goes, what was that? And he knew exactly what it was. And so when I came off the green, he was the first person there. And I had done it to him before at the Open Championship at Turnberry in '77 when I holed that long putt off the green at 15 to tie him, to go into a tie with him, and I eventually won. But he came off, and when I came off the green, he goes like this to my shoulder, looks me in the eyes, kind of, Nicholas, oh, you did it to me again, you little son of a.
I love that. That's great.
But in the same breath, he said, then he smiled. He was like this. You did it to me again. And he said, I couldn't be happier for you. Congratulations.
That's great. That's good.
That's typical Jack.
I love your imitation of him. We're going to do a little bit more of that. And we're going to do a little Tom Watson trivia for the chance for everybody in the audience here to win fabulous Callaway golf prizes when we come right back, right after this on Callaway Live.
Well, we go back to the place where golf really got started in the old country, in Scotland, and other times in England, and have one of the major championships on a course that's older than the 2 of us combined. Barely, but
yes.
older than the 2 of us
well, we know
combined.
you're 50, So, yeah.
That's what I love about it. And especially if you ever have a chance to go, anyone, go to the Open Championship, do it in Scotland. No disrespect to England. It's a fine experience in
I don't
England.
see how they could possibly take that bad.
But the towns in Scotland, they just feel golf, and it is their pride that comes just gushing out 5, 6, 7 years every time they get the chance to host the Open in their town. And the Rota is great, having seen all of them, and I love going, and I look forward to going back again this year for number 21.
Hank Haney here with an Odyssey roll call. I'm going to give you a tip on making sure you get the correct loft on your putter, not only at address, but at impact. A lot of people don't even pay attention to the loft on a putter. This putter, the red ball, has 3 degrees of loft. When you strike a putt, ideally what you're doing is you're striking the putt so that you're hitting up on it like 1.5 degrees. That's how you're going to get the best roll. The ball starting rolling as fast as possible is what you're looking for. With the red ball, when I line up, if I have my hands too far forward or the ball too far back in my stance, it's going to de-loft the putter too much. That's going to drive the putt down into the ground. It's not going to roll as good. When I have my arms and hands positioned properly, I'll see the red ball right in the scope. If I have too much loft on the putter, once again, the ball's not in the scope. Getting a consistent loft on the putter and a correct loft on the putter is a big key in holing more putts.
Welcome back to Callaway Live. Here we are now, Tom Watson. We were talking a little bit during the break, and some of the questions were, in this zone of, comparing era to era. How do you think of the game today versus how you played the game as at the highest level? I mean, do you feel like the game has changed a lot in order to
I don't think it hasn't changed a lot. You still have to put the ball in the hole. You have to drive it in the fairway. You have to hit good iron shots. You have to chip the ball. People ask me, why did I do so well in the Open Championship? Well, very simply, because I was the best chipper and putter in the business. And when you play links golf, which we were talking about before, how hard the greens get, you're going to miss a lot of greens. And I was the best at getting the ball up and down, so I was always kind of right there. It's the game really hasn't changed a lot. You have better equipment, more consistent shafts, more forgiving hits in the drivers. The USGA did a comparison of the 460cc driver and the persimmon driver. They purposely hit it 5/8 inch off the center of both clubs. You know how many yards was lost in the 460cc? How many would you guess?
Well, for me, most of them. No, but I have Callaway. No,
what would you guess?
Forgiveness. Where's Doc? Doc!
Well, I'll tell you.
6 yards.
6 yards. Now for the $64,000 question. Nobody knows what the $64,000 question means here, do they?
Yeah, no, these are all millennials. No way. Yes, I do.
How many yards was lost hitting it off the persimmon? 5/8 off center on the persimmon driver.
20? How many? More than 20. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 48.
49 yards.
49 yards.
49 yards.
I'm just figuring that out. That's a boatload.
That's a lot.
That's a boatload.
That's a lot. When you miss
so that's the difference of the game, really. I mean,
again,
the best players were hitting it right on the button every time.
The best players are hitting on the button now too.
Yeah.
But it's a power game. You can afford to swing maybe harder at it, miss hit it. Back then, you better put it right on the money. Yeah, you have the best players today hit it right on the money.
Yeah. So if you had the opportunity to coach a young player, a young good player, what types of things would you tell that player to focus on if they wanted to, excel at the highest level? What would be the
drive the ball in the fairway and be the best putter. And if you do that, you're going to win.
No charge for that one.
You're going to win. And you can talk all, if you can drive the ball in the fairway, a little guy like me. I'm 5'9". I was, back in those days at 175. I'm about 180 now. I hit the ball as far as anybody in the game. in the professional game. You know, I could carry the ball 250 in the air with a persimmon driver. That's how far I hit it today with my Epic driver.
I saw you do it.
And I'm 68 years old. And my swing speed back then with the persimmon driver, we were talking about it today, they measured it when I was at my heyday, it was 115 miles an hour, the swing speed, the club head speed. Today, my swing speed is 102 miles an hour, and I hit the same distance. So there's a big help.
Tom,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Now Tom is going to
wait
give
a
us...
minute.
Yes,
but
yes,
wait
sir.
a minute. The courses have gotten longer.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, when I play, you know, we used to play a 430-yard par 4. It meant
was long
something.
par
It
4.
meant something. You know, you hit a 250 off the tee. What do you have left? What's the math? Come on.
It's 180. You got 180 yards.
180.
Yeah.
That's right.
I did that math in my head. Actually, my producer just told me the answer. Any more math questions for me, Tom?
Yeah.
He's going to do it right there for me.
If you have a 530-yard par 4 and you hit it 320 yards, how much do you have left?
Oh, no. Well, how far was the par 4? 540? 230?
530, and you hit it, you know, how much do you have left after you hit it?
Okay, let's play some Tom
320?
Watson trivia. 190. No. Did I
Yeah,
get
a
that
little
right?
bit more than that.
Okay. It doesn't matter for me
the
because
clubs
it's
they're
always three-wood wedge.
But the clubs they're in, yeah. That's nice.
On the par 5 after my tee shot. After my tee shot. All right, you guys ready to play some Tom Watson trivia? These questions are very difficult. Very difficult, Tom.
What if I don't know the answer?
I hope that you know the answer. These are some.
Am I supposed to give the answer to this trivia?
You can guess if you'd like to.
Guess.
We like to win. So here they go. You ready? There are 4 questions and 4 questions only, and you have to get every single one of them right to win. You ready for this? Every single person will win 1 Truvis golf ball. Yes. We have a small budget on this show. Okay. Here we go. You ready? Number 1, first question. I don't think Tom mentioned this on the show, so this is good. Tom has a degree in psychology. These are multiple choice. From what famous university? Number 1, A, Emory University. That's where I went to school. I just threw that in there. B, Duke University. That's all where I also went to school, so I threw that one in there. C, Stanford. Or D, Juilliard? Yes. Shintaro, Stanford? Are we going to go with that? We're going to lock that one in? Lock it in. Play the lock it in music, Jeff. We'll add that in post. The answer is?
It's a junior university. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. Oh, Stanford,
No.
Leland Stanford Junior University?
There you go. That's right.
Stanford University. That's absolutely right. It has an incredible idea. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
I got you for a second there. It's a junior.
And an incredible golf pedigree, obviously, from there. But that's amazing. Are you sure you didn't go to Juilliard?
I'm the only TW graduated from Stanford.
I love that. Moving right along. We'll get a cease and desist on that one. Okay, now moving right along. The 1977 Open Championship at Turnberry became a head-to-head contest between Mr. Watson here and Jack Nicklaus. What did historians give the name to this epic battle? You ready? Oh, this is tough. You have to be a real golf historian to know this. A, was it called the Battle of the Birdies? Was it called Hijinks by the Links? No?
Did you write these?
I didn't write these. Was it called The Duel in the Sun? Could be. Or was it called The Most Fantastic, Best Duel, Finest Duel Anywhere in the World, right here at Trump Turnberry? Yes. Are you sure it wasn't D? Okay. C, Tom? Duel in the Sun. I mean, that was one, if not the most epic battle in major championship history between 2 legends, which you were legends at the time.
I tell you, Phil Mickelson's and Stinson's battle
Right
was
there
better.
with it.
It was better.
You think so?
Yeah, they were way under par. It was unbelievable, their duel.
We say no. We still think it was.
Oh, okay.
When Phil's on the show, we'll say it was that. or it says it. Okay, Duel in the Sun. So here's our third question. So we're 2 for 2. Congratulations, everyone. Which 2003 tournament saw Mr. Watson quote, turn back the clock. I definitely didn't write this one. Shooting 65 in the opening round, taking the lead, delighting the crowd. That's a tough one. You have to really know your Tom Watson trivia on this one. A, was it the Hackers Paradise Granddaddy Party? No? Okay.
Heard about that.
B, yeah, that was a good one. B, by the way, what are you doing in
The zoo
December?
crew.
We could use you. Absolutely.
Are you a zoo crew guy?
I am, yeah. Heck yeah.
Really?
I've been a 5-time champ in that one. Okay.
No, 3-time champ.
3 out of 5. 4 out of the 5.
Really? 4 out of 5. I've been getting
I've got
false
one more
information.
Well, from them probably. Yeah, we've won 4 out of 5. B, was it the Callaway Club Championship? Have you ever played in the Callaway Club Championship? You shouldn't be allowed.
Well, I've been invited.
Okay, good. Was it C, the par 3 contest at the Masters? That was a joke. 65 was the score, so that can't be that. Or D, was it the 2003 Open Championship?
D.
And which one?
D.
D? D, 65 in the open round at the 2003.
In the U.S. Open.
In the U.S. Open. Oh, that was the U.S. Open.
Come on, Harry.
Jeff in my ear just goes, oh, yeah, we might have messed that one. Okay. All right. Moving right along. Cross that one out. Get my pen. We'll edit that one out. Or was it D, the 2003 U.S. Open Championship? It was D, the U.S. Open Championship. At E,
Yeah.
that was at Olympia Fields, I believe.
That's correct. That was a sad time
Oh.
because my caddy, Bruce Edwards, had contracted and diagnosed with ALS and about 9 months before, or 7 months before, and he caddied for me there. And it was just magnificent to see what the crowd, how they came for him. And when walking up the every fairway, they were saying Bruce, Bruce, and he was crying and I was crying, and it was a special time that first round, 65, and it was, it was interesting because after the round was over, Bruce didn't want to make a big deal out of his ALS. ALS kills you. And he just didn't want to make a big deal. And one of the fellows one of the USGA officials came up to him and said, Bruce, you have an opportunity here to talk with the platform about ALS and to help make people aware about what it is. And he said, you're right. So he went up in front of the press, mainstream press. They were right there, the big. And he started talking about the disease, and from then on, it was, he was out front about it and trying to get people to be aware about what ALS does, and to help raise funds for research. And sadly, about 9 months later, he checked out. He checked out on the Thursday morning of the Masters tournament. And he probably did it on purpose for some reason, because Masters tournament was his absolute favorite tournament. And I remember Hillary coming up to me about 6:30 in the morning and said, he's gone.
I remember.
He was a good man.
Yeah, and I remember after that you made that a cause of your own to raise money for ALS as well.
Yeah, I promised him before he died, 3 weeks before he died, I said to him, Bruce, I'm going to, whatever it takes, I'm going to, try to raise funds for ALS research to, beat this damn disease. And that's what I continue to do.
Yeah, you've used your platform to
my platform
to bring
exactly
to bring awareness.
George Brett in Kansas City and I were, he had a close friend die of it, and it's just. It's a miserable disease, and it doesn't get much press.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate you being here and sharing the stories with us. And we still think you can turn back the clock a little bit and win a couple more for us with carrying our bag. And you obviously represent our company so well, and we couldn't be more pleased about the
thanks, Harry.
relationship. And
Thank you.
Thanks for being here on the show.
Great.
Tom Watson, everybody. Tom Watson. Thanks Thanks for being here, everybody. That's the end of our blog.